Sorry, I couldn't hear anything you said.
Perfect.
No, I'm totally kidding. Hello, hi.
Hi.
I thought we weren't doing the sponsored bit because we're not sponsored.
Oh, well, I was just saying I was thirsty, that's all.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't expose anything. I'm just consuming
Thirsty about talking about movies?
Beverage. Yeah. I am thirsty for some movies.
I'm thirsty for some movie news and knowledge. Yeah, week off, yeah.
Drink this with my fucking hand just like gripped around this as to not expose any labels.
Hell yeah. When I drink my totally not Coca-Cola, I'll try to do that too. It's the other red soda that everyone drinks. It's Dr. Pibb. God, I kind of actually, I wish I had a Dr. fucking Pibb. Pibb is a Pibb or Pip?
Pibb.
Pibb. I want that. Yeah, Blue, my week off is usually like a week off of streaming, but just then me editing videos for like 14 hours a day.
This is my first stream in 2 weeks.
Woo!
Yeah, bringing it
Welcome back to the internets.
Bringing it home. Yeah, I feel like I've been living in another world.
Oh, I probably need to turn the music off because that.
Oh yeah, good call.
That can't be in this. Yeah, well, all that can't use in the podcast now. Shit, because we were both listening to music. Whoops. It's okay. We know what we're doing, folks. We do this. This is like episode 6.
No, 4.
No. 5. Okay, so we've done Iron Man, Color Out of Space, 8.5. Train to Busan, Turbo Kid. So this is 5? 5th. It's the 5th.
God damn it, Twitch. What the fuck?
What?
I've had to add 2 new permitted terms.
Oh, I see them.
for like the dumb shit. Just dumb shit.
It's Mr. Gorilla Dude. He's running amok. I see it. He's running amok. Yeah, let's. Oh, we have a lot of news to cover. I'm sorry I was late. I was debating if I wanted to make tea, and then I started talking, and then mucus just started spewing out of my mouth. That's not exactly what happened.
Wow.
My allergies are fucking garbage, so I decided I probably should drink tea. Wowie woo wah.
Heavy stuff, bro.
Yeah,
big stuff going on, I guess.
So much.
Is it just 'cause, yeah? Okay.
Well, it's 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks because last week we didn't.
And our world operates on a 24-hour news cycle, so that's like
especially in movies and
worth of
television.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's start this off. Hi everybody.
Let's talk about the 2 episodes of 911. That's where.
Dude, I've actually let's get into the podcast, and I kind of want to talk about 911.
Wait, for real?
Kind of, just because other people have been talking about it. Alright, hey everybody, and welcome back to Ruining Movies. This is the movie where we talk about movie news, we talk about the movie of the week, and then with the help of you, wonderful audience, we rewrite that movie at the end of the episode in a different genre and make it a prequel, sequel, or remake. I'm your host, Zach, and my co-host is Shane.
That's me.
That's him. Yeah, so let's start this off by talking about 911. So
I was just kidding when I said that.
I know you were, but like people talk about that show a lot. Not like
really?
That it's like good, but I guess it's like stupidly good. Like the cases are just so stupid in it.
Yes.
That's the one with what's his face, right? Oh god, that's like the most generic. From Parks and Rec.
What?
And the Outsiders. Who the fuck? It's oh god.
I'm normally good at this game, but you lost me this time.
I know you are. It's oh my god. It's like
Parks and Rec. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of 911 that had anyone from Park. Oh, Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe, thank you. Yes, Rob Lowe. I was like, this is one of the most famous
this
people ever.
19 iterations.
Yeah, he's like in the Texas one.
Yes, 911 Lone Star.
Yes.
I watched like the first. Even Google that. Fucking A. I watched like the first 1 or 2 episodes of that, I think.
Yes, it does have first name privilege.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
But like that's kind of why I made the joke also, because every time I've seen, okay, first of all, shout out to all the first responders and people that are like out there doing the damn thing, because
Yeah.
I'm not doing it and you are. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But this show is just wild.
Right.
There was
That's
like
why
a fucking tsunami.
Yeah, in like
In
Austin,
one?
Texas. That's why people talk about it, is because like I seen one where like some kids as like a prank like cemented their head in a microwave.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like I it's fucking crazy, but it's just weird. There is like 10 different 911s. There's like one I think in like Georgia, one in Texas. Like I think the original one's in like New York. I think there's one in California now.
Chicago, and then there's like the cop ones. There's like Chicago PD.
Yeah.
And those things, and they're all interconnected. They do fucking
crossovers
on each other's shows. It's literally
it's like, bigger than the MCU.
Yes, it's like the DC or the MCU. Like I think about like the Flash and Arrow and those guys, except they're just, you know, first responders and doctors and stuff.
When are we gonna get Crisis on Infinite Earths, but Crisis on Infinite 911s? Just a mega crossover of all a billion 911 shows. Throw in Grey's Anatomy too, why not? All the firefighting shows.
Anatomy just had a crossover too, like last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't, again, not shows that I watch. I'd own it if I did. I just see the commercials and pay attention. And stuff.
I used to watch Grey's Anatomy a decent amount.
I knew that.
It's so sappy. It's just those shows are just so over dramatic. It's I grew up with people in my house watching soap operas, so I'm kind of like gravitate towards soap operas. So like Grey's Anatomy is like an in between, just because it's so ridiculous.
I mean, I used to really like House. House was a really cool show.
Right, House was good.
But I don't know. I don't get into like daytime soaps. But like there are some of these nighttime dramas that have like got their hooks in me a few times.
Yeah. Yo, absolutely. I will watch soap operas if they are like, it's kind of fun. Like the TV in my kitchen is usually just on during the day. Like,
so are you caught up on Days of Our Lives?
I'm not, but like sometimes when I'm making lunch, I'll like either like be listening to a podcast or like listen to the radio, but sometimes I'm not. So it's just like Days of Our Lives is on, and it's like this person has like a twin brother from like another continent who looks exactly the same but has like an eye patch, and like someone was just shot, and it's like, what the hell is happening?
And all of those characters have been on the show for like 30 years.
Yeah, I think like the longest running soap opera has like been running for like like 50 years now. I think like
it's something crazy.
Yeah, I think Days of Our Lives has been on for like since like the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to look it up.
Yeah, which is crazy.
So
soap operas are fun.
Thing kept going on with my Hulu recently.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
is it solar opposites taking over everything?
No, I wish. So I feel like trying to watch Solar Opposites.
Yeah.
Actually, this is like a few weeks ago. And it would try to go to the next episode. And the first time, it put on, what is that one show? It's like Empire, maybe?
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Like turned it on, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Hulu? Like, this is not what I'm trying to watch. So I was like, okay, it's time for bed. So I turned on Futurama. I knew I'd fall asleep to Futurama.
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't want to fall asleep to Solar Opposites, but Futurama,
right?
A billion times. It's good fall asleep show.
Futurama's
I wake up
amazing.
In the morning and fucking Hulu is still playing and has been playing for like a while. I shit you not. Days of Our Lives.
So you're subconsciously taking in Days of Our Lives.
Apparently.
Hell yeah.
At some point, like I would just wake up and it'd be like, do you want to continue watching Days of Our Lives? And I was like, what the fuck? I was watching Days of Our Lives.
That's amazing. That's so good. Honestly, if you've never seen a soap opera, I like recommend just watching a random episode because it is actually pretty damn fun.
My grandma used to say you could not watch it for 6 months, watch one episode, and know exactly what's going on.
Exactly, because that's how it's made. It's like it's consumer media before the internet. Like it's just like this is happening. Boom. It's Twitch streaming before Twitch streaming because it's on every day. It's something new.
Take.
Talking about so Hulu, I have a weird Hulu glitch too. Whenever I'm watching anything on Hulu, it always immediately plays after a Bob's Burger episode, specifically the episode where they're in the sewers and they've made like it's Tina, it's all the kids and all like the Italian kids.
Okay, yeah.
And they're all in the
Jimmy.
sewer, yeah, with Jimmy and stuff. And it's always goes to that spot, like when they're in the sewers. I think it's like episode 1 of season 2.
I mean, it'll happen after you finish a thing.
Yes, every single time. That's the only show it ever, and it's always that episode. And I've finished that episode many times because I had it autoplay.
That is so funny.
Yeah,
You're just like enjoying the intense thrill ride known as Free Solo. And then it
exactly.
ends with cracking up to some Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, Bob's
Have you ever
Burgers is
seen
so
Free
good.
Solo?
I've not. I've only heard good things about it though.
Wow. Since we're on this little Hulu conversation, I would recommend it. It's gonna make
Yeah.
your hands sweat though. Alex
Oh,
Honnold
it's the free climbing one, right?
Yeah, that guy is a machine. Like I think he's actually a robot.
Dude, that's terrifying. I don't do heights.
Yeah, me neither. No, fuck that. Not like that. Like I can handle like your standard heights, like elevators and stuff. You and I
Yeah.
went to the top of the Renaissance Center.
Right, yeah, like I can do that.
I can
But,
handle that. That's not a big deal. Put me
Yeah.
on a mountain with no fucking gear. What are you, stupid?
Right, exactly, yeah. Oh my god.
No, but this guy knows exactly what he's doing, and he's a fucking professional and like trains for this shit, and it's a thrill ride. It's really good.
That's crazy.
Would
Did you
recommend.
ever see that film that had Joseph Gordon-Levitt? People with 3 names I always mess up their names. The one where he like walks between I think it's those Twin Towers.
Oh, it's called like On the Line.
Like Man on a Wire or something.
Oh yeah. No, I know.
Wait, I think I just confused that with Man on Fire, the Denzel Washington
Man
film.
on Fire. I think you're close though. I think maybe it's called. It's not The Wire. I know that for sure.
The Wire is the like police procedural that's like supposed to be really good.
Yeah, everybody talks about The Wire and Breaking Bad, according to Family Guy. Anyway,
Yeah.
I do know the movie you're talking about.
It's
I've
Man
never
on
seen it.
Wire. Well, no,
I
it's a
heard that-
documentary about it. I don't know what the just.
I heard that a bunch of people like maybe it wasn't the same movie, but there was a movie recently like about the same thing.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, because
like,
it happened in real life.
Yeah,
like someone
a
did
bunch
that.
Of people were like leaving the movie theater and shit because they were getting really nauseous from the way it was filmed.
Yeah, I wonder if it was the documentary. It's probably the documentary. All right, so staying on Hulu, first of all, I think me and you are the only 2 Twitch streamers on this platform who haven't been sponsored by Solar Opposites at this point. So come on,
dang. Come on,
dude! Every stream I go on to, they all like are like, today's stream sponsored by Solar Opposites. I'm like, come on, me, please. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Solar Opposites.
I haven't watched any of it yet. How is it? I wanted to ask you that. How is it?
About 2/3 of the way through the first season, and I love it.
Does it feel like a Rick and Morty like knockoff, or does it feel like its own thing?
I don't know about knockoff.
Right,
But
that's
like,
fair.
You can tell, because of who it is, like, cause
Right.
it's the same.
Justin
like,
Roiland.
Yeah, Justin Roiland. He's like
Roiland, yeah.
Most of the voices,
Nice.
as he usually is.
Right.
He voices both Rick and Morty.
Yep.
He's just screaming at himself
Dude's nuts.
all the fucking time. So he's incredibly talented, but like, there's only so many voices a man can do.
That is true.
So like in Community, season 6 episode late, I think it's the last episode actually, because I just watched it last night. They introduced like a little robot character briefly.
Yeah.
Sounds exactly like Morty, 100%.
Nice.
And like I noticed that a little bit in a couple episodes, but it's like he's obviously trying to mix it up. It feels different. It's a very different scenario. It almost feels like perhaps this world could be a world in one of the many Rick and Morty multiverses.
That's fair. Okay.
It's just Rick and Morty aren't in the picture in this one specific world.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it is like, it's the same art style. Like it's even like the same credits.
Is Dan Harmon involved in Solar Opposites?
I'm not sure. I think maybe.
Let me see.
I'll give it a maybe. He's probably
Okay.
gonna. I just clicked Fortnite.
Oh.
Please
It does not look like he's one of the creators.
Please
Get down.
don't launch Fortnite. Please.
Get out of here, Fortnite. We're talking about other pop culture, not you.
Yeah, screw off. Anyway, yeah, so Solar Opposites has been it's been interesting. It's funny. I like it a lot. I mean, it does feel different, but you can tell that it's like kind of the same.
Right. Right.
But it's really enjoyable. I
Okay.
enjoy it. It's different.
Yeah, I'm probably definitely gonna check that out. The show I watched on Hulu is finally over, so I do have
Oh.
some shopping. So Superstore last week
It
had
ended?
its series finale. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, they kind of found out halfway through the season that they weren't being renewed. Superstore is a show that I really liked. I don't think too many people watched it though, which is disappointing. I think.
I didn't. I watched like maybe an episode.
Yeah.
Just carry on. Just throw
Yeah,
that
yeah.
out there.
But
I'm one of the non-participators.
right, no, yeah, and I mean, I always watch it on Hulu, so it's not like I was watching it live. So I kind of like the reason it got canceled. That's kind of a like reason too. But honestly, I thought it was good. I think it can. I know. I think it could stand like for blow against like Parks and Rec and The Office with some of its episodes.
Okay.
But it had its series finale. They found out halfway through the season that they were being canceled, but I mean, I still think they had a really good series finale. It wrapped up really well.
Cool.
But I recommend it. I mean, if you've worked retail, I recommend it. Like
Okay.
this show, there isn't a show that I've watched, maybe then like other than Office Space, that movie, that has like actually captured what it is like to work in a grocery store or just like a retail store.
Right.
And it has some like strangely good politics in it. And when I say that, I mean like it covered like unions in a way like that corporations are like just screw over workers, kind of like how Amazon's doing right now. Like they talked about that stuff. Like they talked about
sponsorship.
yeah, it's whatever. We're on Twitch. Everyone talks shit about Amazon in here. It's fine. They like go over like health insurance and stuff, but like also really funny. Like they take like all these like things that actually like affect retail workers but like they put it in there, they acknowledge it, but they also are like pretty funny about it. So I mean, I recommend it. It's over now. I think it has a good ending.
Okay. I like that it
yeah.
I was gonna say I like that it's over, but I'm not trying to like throw shade. Like that
No.
entices me to watch it.
Right, exactly.
It has an ending.
Yeah, and
I don't think I watched Breaking Bad until I knew it was gonna end.
I didn't watch Breaking Bad till it was over.
Yeah.
I usually don't watch shows until they're over.
Yeah, it's just like something about the closure, and
Yeah.
maybe to bring it back to our last podcast, maybe I would have like a subconscious affliction from My Name Is Earl. I was just like pummeled at a young age by this like horrendous cliffhanger, and now I'm just like, no, fuck it, I'm not watching a show unless it's like the whole thing.
Right, I mean, like, honestly, if a show does get canceled early or does, like, I do know that, like, it doesn't have a, like, actual finale, I don't think I want to watch it.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a lot tougher to invest my time into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, Ghost Hand. I think people overhype stuff, and then people get disbanded. Someone in my chat just said, I think the way people overhyped Breaking Bad hurt it a lot of people, and I agree with that sentiment. I think there are a lot of things that people overhype, kind of like WandaVision.
Yeah, no, for sure, I agree.
That do that. I think you kind of need to go into watching media with first you want to watch it. You don't want to watch it because everyone's like, oh, this is fantastic. Like there should be something like you see in it that's like, oh, this seems interesting to me. But also like overhyping or underhyping. Well, I mean, if someone underhypes something, then you watch it and you like it, that's good. But like if people do like be like, this is the greatest thing ever, and then you watch it and you're like, you might like it, but you don't feel like they do, then it kind of feels like what the hell.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing.
I'm a robot, right? So I try to like go into everything I watch with like no expectations.
Yeah.
So as to prevent myself from inevitable disappointment.
That's fair.
Which I suppose is why I didn't like, I don't know. I didn't like totally hate a bunch of terrible things that I've watched.
Yeah.
The first time I've watched it, because it's like I don't expect to like it or hate it, so I guess I'll just take this as media.
Yeah.
and I'll digest it afterwards or whatever. That's like kind of how I've taken the approach to like most Marvel content.
Yeah, that's
Just
fair.
try to like not have an expectation so as to not get my dreams crushed. I'm just gonna take it for what it is because
Yeah, I totally agree. I
really
think
do anything
Marvel
about it, might as
is
well
doing
try
pretty
to
okay,
enjoy
good
it.
with their TV stuff as well, though. Was sweet. Yeah. So
But
I think
agree with the Breaking Bad sentiment for sure.
yeah, definitely. There's been like a lot of shows. I'm trying to think. That's kind of why I've never watched Game of Thrones. Because like everyone talks as first of all, I'm not really interested. That just seems really long. So if you like Game of Thrones, that's good for you. It doesn't seem like something I would be interested in.
The number one reason I won't watch Game of Thrones. You have
Yeah.
like what do we have? Like 12 episode seasons, maybe more.
Yeah.
They're probably longer than that. I have no idea. The show went on for like a decade. And
Exactly.
they're each an hour or more.
Yeah, and
I don't know if I'm willing to commit to that. And I know the ending.
and I know the ending. I know the ending. From what reading it, the ending sounds like it would disappoint me. And like we talked about this like last podcast about kind of like endings either making or breaking a show, or like sometimes it doesn't matter. But I think like if I have that much of a time commitment and I know the ending is going to suck, like I just don't want to do it.
So I'm pretty sure in that same podcast, I mentioned Game of Thrones, and I said that, like, you know, if it were me, I would take it and just kind of like enjoy it as a whole media thing. But like, I truly feel for the people that dumped in like years.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
At a time to like watch, love, enjoy, and catch up, and then be kind of like have it not be everything you wanted.
Right.
But thanks, because now that I know that, I'm definitely not going to commit the time to that. I think I'd rather just read the books if it's going to take that long.
Yeah, there's people in my chat talking about how, like, after season 4, it seems like to go down. I kind of feel, this is going to sound bad, but I kind of feel vindicated for not watching it. You're like, I was right, but not really. So that'll be a shitty take. You all suck. No, I'm kidding. Commit the time to be disappointed. Yeah.
So.
I'm one of those people where, like, the ending does affect how much I like something.
It really depends for me.
But yeah, and that makes sense too.
Things like really fuck up the entire media source for me.
Yeah.
And I've had some endings that were just like hated by the masses, and I was just like, yeah, okay, this is fine. Like Dexter, I don't give a fuck. I thought that was an appropriate ending.
I hate the ending so much. I hate I don't hate, but like I think my disappointment with Dexter is like I think season 1 through 3 is like some of the best television. And then I feel like after that it just fell apart. Like the whole like weird like serial killer school thing that happens towards like the end, like this was like what the hell. Mr. Robot is different. Mr. Robot nailed every single episode they ever did, and Mr. Robot's ending made it better.
That's one that I've heard tons about and have not yet to crack the surface on it.
Honestly, I think it is if we're talking about my favorite television show of the last 10 years, that I honestly don't think has a bad episode, I would go with Mr. Robot, and then like The Leftovers in second place.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned The Leftovers like every time we have this conversation.
It's because
like,
it's so good. It's
long.
so good. Talking about shows, I'm getting kind of good at segues. I'm just gonna pat myself on the back. The Leftovers. Yes. Anyone in my chats who haven't watched The Leftovers, it's on HBO. It is about. I'm not going to spoil anything about it or give anything away because it's about like a lot of really heavy themes, but the premise is something happens in the world where 2% of the population just disappears.
Radical.
Just disappears.
So
and it is
random occurrence, and then
they just disappear.
Over time, I'm assuming.
Yep, and then the whole show is about the trauma and about what it's like to survive if just 2% of the world disappears. And there's not really any answers. So it go, and that is like it without spoiling anything. It's a show about 2% of the population disappearing, the people not knowing what happened to everyone, but still having to live their life.
That sounds like Walmart Thanos snap. Ouch.
Leftovers was here first, actually. And it's much better than the Thanos up. That game segment expanded.
That's not a Shayne quote. Just saying.
I know. I feel like that's an MGD quote.
Oh, you called him out like that. Oh.
Anyway, back to that segue.
Yeah.
So last week,
nailed it.
Yeah, he's killed it. We didn't totally just go on a rant for random 2 minutes here. So this is more of a sadder news, but I think it's someone we should talk about. Jessica Walter died last week. Which is someone I wanted to talk about. For those who don't know, she was the mom in Arrested Development, and she is the mom in Archer.
I knew that name sounded outrageously familiar. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, it is very sad. She was an amazing actress. Like, those are the two things I'm going to name, but, like, she's been acting for most of her life. She has some really good films.
Yeah,
but,
I've
like...
seen her other stuff for sure.
Yeah, but, like, I think, honestly, Arrested Development, the first few seasons... are some of my favorite comedy television. I think Arrested Development is absolutely hilarious. And I think Jessica Walter playing the mom is like a main reason for that. Like, she killed that like totally disconnected rich person vibe who like is just spiteful towards everyone, but like she's just so fucking funny the entire time. And then in Archer, her character is really good too.
Yeah, no, she's fantastic. Her as Mallory Archer.
Yeah.
Is just so perfect, and I love that show. And honestly, like, she really is like a huge part of what makes that show so funny.
Absolutely.
Like, her interactions with a ton of the people in the show, especially in the early seasons when she's like actively their boss. Like in the later seasons, she kind of becomes like a little more disconnected from the bunch, but like when she's like the boss, she has some of the funniest animation that I've enjoyed. I love that show.
Absolutely. I mean, so that happened last week. It was sad. I watched some Arrested Development. I watched some even if you go to YouTube and just like watch Lucille Bluth's like compilations, it's so funny. Like, I think my favorite one is like the cut where she's saying I love all my children equally, and then it does the earlier that day and she's just sitting drinking. She's like, I don't care for Gob. Like that.
That's not even his name.
Job, yeah. Oh my god, it's so fucking good. It's a banana, Michael. What can it cost? $10? Like, so good. Like, so that was sad. That happened last week.
That conversation full circle to an earlier one, not for the sake of segue. Do you know she was on One Life to Live?
No shit. I mean, I feel like everyone was on One Life to Live. That's crazy,
At some
though.
point or another. I was just scrolling through, seeing like what I knew or recognized.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. Only because of the conversation.
No, I mean, it is full circle. Yeah. Wow. So that happened. Yeah. So I just thought we should talk about her because honestly, I think she's had some of the funniest characters in the last like 20 years. Like,
I agree completely.
She's hilarious. So R.I.P.
All right, you gonna make me more sad or what?
No. Well, I mean, maybe. There's not other. I don't think there's any other television news I really wanted to talk about. Well, shit. We need to talk about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah. Do you want to?
Conversation with chat before this about if or not we were going to talk about this.
Yeah, we have to. Do we want to talk about that after we talk about all the news stuff and talk about the first 2 episodes? I feel like that's going to be a longer bit.
So you have watched it?
I've watched both episodes. Yeah.
Then yeah, we can start talking about it after we do news.
Okay. Yeah, let's just go through some the other news. Another big thing that happened. In other news, we got some movie trailers this week. Also, Kong vs. Godzilla came out. I haven't seen it yet.
Yes, me neither.
So we were not going to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm in a real weird spot with that and with the new Justice League.
The Snyder Cut. I've not seen that either. I'll see that in 3 years when I have 4 hours to watch.
And we haven't watched the 4-hour movie that we talked about.
I don't want to watch the 4-hour movie.
It's not because I don't want to watch the movie. It's because I don't want to sign up for another fucking subscription service.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just I'm
just kind of over it. Like, I already pay for so many of them.
Ghost Hand, that is amazing. Ghost Hand in my chat said Kong vs. Godzilla. Godzilla is apparently really good. It's mostly focused on the monster combat itself. And last time we talked about Kong vs. Godzilla, we spent like 20 minutes talking about why we want to see that movie. Because like Godzilla King of Monsters, like the fighting scenes were great. Don't give me any of that human bullshit. I just want monkey hitting lizard. I will watch that.
Remove the people from the entire.
Yeah. But yeah, subscription services, like, wasn't this whole thing, I know this is like a really, like, boomer millennial take, wasn't the whole, like, subscription, like, streaming service thing supposed to be like, oh, we can get rid of cable, and now I, like, feel like I pay more for subscription services?
Collectively, and now, you have the fucking cable companies getting in on shit. So, at this point, it's like, why would I pay for cable when I could just
I totally agree.
have a smart TV? And do my 18 subscription services from that. But wait, now cable companies are offering you a box to attach to your smart TV, which gives you access to not only the 18 apps that you pay for, but also their app, which includes, you know, what the fuck ever.
Right.
Stop attaching shit to shit that already does the shit.
I know. It's so I agree. It's so tedious.
Maddening.
It's a cartel racket at this point. Someone said in my chat. I agree. It is. It's like, yeah, let's save you money, but now it's like, oh yeah, you want to watch this specific movie? Well, you have to subscribe to this service, and you can't just subscribe to this service. You actually have to pay an extra $20 on top of that service to get it. It's I know. I have HBO.
For movies on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I think right now I've had to like change around what I'm subscribed to. I don't think I'm subscribed to Netflix. Actually, oh god, so we can talk about Netflix right now. Their whole thing is, because it goes along with what we're talking, their whole new thing is like cutting down on people sharing their passwords and stuff, which is like, get the fuck out of here. Then I like saw like a Canadian report where like people were asking like, do you think it's morally wrong to share your password? I'm gonna just stay out and say no, it's not fucking morally wrong. These things are trying to bleed us fucking dry.
Morally like a piece of shit because my dad has my fucking Netflix
exactly
password? Fuck you. Like, this is upsetting me. I don't like this conversation.
I know, like, I'm all for supporting the arts. I will always say we need to support the arts. But this isn't supporting the arts. This is just staking money for people.
Yeah, like, viewing, like you said, like, in theory, isn't viewing something on Netflix, like, not providing a monetary gain to the film as much as just watching a film, like, as its own thing?
Yeah. So, like, you'll get a contract with Netflix, or Netflix will buy your rights. So it's not like every time you watch a certain thing from that show, like, the creators are getting paid for it. Like, it's not. Ugh.
So, like, when The Office was on Netflix, gajillions of people fucking watched.
So thank you for that follow, Ghost Hand.
Whoever gets the royalties.
Much appreciated.
Got, like, X amount of that contract. And, like, their ratings didn't increase because it wasn't being watched on NBC.
Yeah, and so yeah, now it's crazy, like, the Office, which culturally, like, is one of the most influential shows of the last 20 years. The Office is just, it is. People love The Office. Yeah. And now, like, you can't even watch it without, like, going behind two paywalls.
Yeah, so now it's on Peacock, and I don't know what to do about that, because that, again, it's the HBO Max dilemma.
Yeah, exactly.
Do I sign up for another fucking subscription service so I can watch The Office, or do I just watch Community again, because I already have fucking Netflix?
Yeah, exactly. It's a license you own thing, and scares me. Yes, that's another thing, is like, that's a whole big discussion about, like, owning actual media. Like, you own a license. Even like Steam. I have over 200 games on Steam. Those, if like Steam goes away eventually or dies, I don't have those games anymore.
Right. They're gone. They ran away with your money.
Same with like any subscription service. Like, you're streaming something, you get it for this movie, and I mean, it's a little bit different, I guess. You take that movie away, like, you can't watch it. Same with like, it's a whole mess. Yeah, so I don't know why that just thought that came up last week too. I heard someone on a podcast talking about it. I was like, that sucks. Shut up, Netflix.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, okay, get out of here.
Yeah, okay. What I was talking about, I brought that up because luckily, Kind of. Me and some of my family members, we each have done this thing where we each pay for a separate subscription service, and then we just share all the passwords and usernames. So like, I think I pay for HBO, and Disney Plus. God, still 2 is so expensive. But then like, I still have access to like Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hulu, and all that stuff because like other family members do that. Right. Like, and I advise, if you can get other people to do that, just do that.
Right. I actually just got a fucking notification the other day saying my Disney Plus was going up.
Yep, I saw that.
Like, can't a guy just stream some shit?
Yeah, it's...
and you tried to charge me for Mulan, which was a fucking terrible movie?
Yeah.
I'm so glad I waited to watch that steaming pile of trash. I respect all the actors and the creators and, you know, all the nice things that come with this, but God, that movie...
people can have a genuine, like, be genuinely good and still make bad movies. It happens. All right, let's talk about good stuff. Let's talk about things that could possibly be really good or really bad, and that is the Suicide Squad trailer.
Yeah, so I didn't actually watch the trailer yet.
Oh, you haven't?
I knew about some of the shit that was going to be going on. Like,
the trailer's
John
pretty good.
Cena and spandex and that guy, Sylvester Stallone is the shark.
Which honestly, the shark, fucking what's his face? I can't remember what Killer Shark, Man Shark, Sharkman. I can't remember. No, King Shark. I think.
King Shark. Yeah.
Yeah. He was hilarious. So. The last Suicide, it's so weird. The last Suicide Squad's trailer is like an amazing. The movie, not amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Fun. It has fun parts, but overall, not amazing.
Nah.
The trailer for this Suicide Squad was good. It was fun. It had everything I want.
Okay.
But I'm afraid. The thing is, like, okay, I have a little bit of hope for this movie because James Gunn is directing it.
Yeah, I mean, in general, he hasn't really let me down, but this is what I was saying earlier about no expectations.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a robot when it comes to this shit. Like, I'll watch the trailer and stuff, but when I go into this, I'm just going to try to be as fucking neutral as possible. It's going to be hard because I fucking love John Cena. Let's get it straight. That man is a fucking legend. And he's made of marble.
Yeah. I mean,
honestly, I just think he's fucking hilarious. I think that he's like the greatest one-man comedy show ever. And
John Cena is like strangely just hilarious. Like,
yeah,
what the hell?
It's weird. And he's also very like humble.
Yeah.
And charitable. He's a cool guy. That's besides the point. Like we don't have to talk about how my crush for John Cena is similar to my crush for Miley Cyrus. We don't have to get into that. But also, it just seems like, you know, they have a decent cast.
They have so many people in that cast, which means a lot of them are going to die, like someone just in my chat said, which is good.
They have James Gunn, and I don't know. It's like I said, I'm gonna aim for
neutrality. They have Polka Dot Man, which is like, that's
the bad guy. Like, I can't think of his name.
Oh my god. Okay,
but so that's so funny that they went for that.
Do you know who the bad guy who is revealed in the trailer is?
I saw the character images and I read some stuff.
Did you see?
To be like the Starfish Man?
Yes, guy. Starro. I'm so excited that Starro's in it. Starro is such a nuts. It's so.
That's why I was like, what a funny, cool like bad guy to go with. That's so interesting.
Which makes me excited too. Like, okay, so Suicide Squad, the comics are like actually really some of my favorite. They're fun. I like the concept of getting a bunch of anti-heroes and villains from the DC universe, putting bombs in their neck and making them do suicide missions, because it's usually fun. I think sometimes the villains working together can be much funner than a bunch of heroes acting like doing together, because you have like a different chemistry.
Yeah.
And like
heroes are too hero-y. You know?
Yeah, you have Polka Dot. Okay, so I love Polka Dot. I love that Polka Dot Man. I love that they are bringing like like so many of these villains into this trailer. Like, no one knows about them.
Right.
Like, the person John Cena is playing is just like kind of this play on Captain America. I can't remember his name. I think it's like Patriot or something, but he pretty much is like if Captain America just like was like just hated everyone but America and just killed everyone and was like in a horrible human being. Yeah.
I'm just like looking at the cast list, and this is so funny. Like just some of the people that they've chosen. Like
Yeah.
we have our first and second, and there's so many Marvel crossovers for actors in this movie. Holy shit. Sylvester Stallone, Idris Elba, Michael Rooker, Viola Davis,
Sean Gunn, James Gunn.
Sean Gunn, James Gunn. I love that Pete Davidson is in this movie.
He's gonna die so quick. I love.
Really?
There's so many. Half this list, probably even more than half this list, are gonna be dead the first 10 minutes. It's gonna be great.
I bet you he gets like brutally murdered.
Yeah.
It's gonna be wild. But he's generally pretty funny. I like him. He's come to be one of my top tier SNL cast recently.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. It could go either way. I think. I don't even. David Ayer, I think when he went to direct the first Suicide Squad, I don't even remember what he did before that. I mean, James Gunn has a comedic background, and I mean, he came from Trauma. Are you familiar with like the whole Trauma, like studio and stuff in the 90s?
No.
Are you familiar with like Toxic Avenger?
Yeah.
So that's Trauma. Trauma just made like a bunch of like ridiculous garbage comedies, like very B horror movies. Like Turbo Kid felt like a trauma film.
Okay, yeah.
No, that's not bad. I mean, B horror. I like B. Like there is a subcategory like B horror, and like that is good.
Yeah.
But anyway, James Gunn got his start on Trauma films. Well, specifically, his big breakthrough was Romeo and Juliet, which is just Romeo and Juliet, but like really fucked up because it's a trauma film. Right. So I think that's I think that's good for Suicide Squad because he's good with like just crazy violence.
Just like wacky over the top.
Yeah, and then also Guardians of the Galaxy was really funny. I thought it's some of my favorite. No.
I think it's gonna be good.
So it's like I said, could be good, could be bad. I thought the trailer came out. I thought I liked the trailer. That was fun.
I'm gonna try to like keep a level head about it. I'm reading and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just like the last couple. Like I don't know. The first Suicide Squad was, in my opinion, a stinker.
Yeah.
The Harley Quinn movie was fun, but a little stinky.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the films we disagree on, but that's fine.
Yeah, there was just like some things about it I didn't particularly enjoy, but I did enjoy Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Her character arc and the things that she dealt with and went through, and like by the time it was all said and done, they had set up something pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I hope she doesn't lose that.
No, I think she's probably the most consistent person in the DC universe right now.
I can agree with that.
Like, I think her Harley Quinn, like throughout all the movies, like she's never done anything where I've not liked it. Like she's been the most consistent person throughout the entire DC universe, which is kind of crazy that Harley Quinn is your most consistent character.
Yeah, the irony of my statement is I liked the Harley Quinn part of that Harley Quinn movie. There was just a lot of parts of it that I was like,
Yeah.
But you know, as usual, Margot Robbie's a standout actress, and I think she plays the role really well. And I think the role I think the role kind of writes itself.
Right.
But they do a very good job with it, and I think that she'll stand out in this new Suicide Squad movie. But I guess that was my main point here. Is I hope that she doesn't lose what she gained from the last film in this movie.
From the trailer, she seems pretty still solid, pretty good.
I'm clearly getting ahead of myself here because I haven't seen the trailer.
Yeah, I would recommend the trailer to anyone who hasn't seen it. It's fun. It's like 2 minutes. It's not long. It doesn't. The Starro reveal at the end is really fucking funny. It's crazy that they're going with Starro. I love it so much. I just remember Starro from the animated show, and this, like, for those who don't know, Starro is literally a galactic starfish who just wants to conquer worlds by mind control. It's a great villain. It's a great villain for Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think it's like it's right up their alley. It'll be good.
All right, talking about superhero movies and films with insane casts. Today it was announced that Russell Crowe has just landed a role in Thor: Love and Thunder. Who's not in that movie at this point?
Let's go. Man, Taika Waititi's got the connects.
Dude, well, they're all Australian, but like honestly, one of the best directors of our time. I'll say it right now.
I'm just saying, like, between the cast of this movie and the cast for Ragnarok,
also he's in Suicide Squad. Taika is.
Taika, yeah,
Taika.
I noticed that, but it's just like this is just such an explosive cast. They're huge, and the Matt Damon.
Dude, okay, so I'm just gonna go through this list real quick. We have Karen Gillan, Taika Waititi, Christian Bale, Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, Chris Pratt, Melissa McCarthy, Russell Crowe, Jamie Alexander, Matt Damon, Tessa Thompson, Sam Neill, Sean Gunn, probably James Gunn in some way, Luke Hemsworth, and I feel like there's more people. That's just like the first list on fucking IMDb.
Yeah. I went further. I can't find any more. It's just
I think if you are currently in Australia, you have a part in this film.
Yeah, that is, talk about a fucking all-star cast. My goodness.
I would love. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, someone said it better have a nod to Beta Ray Bill, and I really hope.
Oh yeah.
I could see us getting what's the Frog Thor in this movie somehow. Yeah, there's like a Frog Thor who was in the Pet Avengers. Mm-hmm. I could see him coming out. I would love to see Beta Ray Bill pop up too.
Looking at this cast list, it is like spoiling things.
Yeah, I know. That's why I kind of looked away. There's some roles.
But I guess that was my point about Taika Waititi. It's like between this and Ragnarok, that man knows some like people.
Well, I think he's just from the interviews I've seen, and obviously like interviews and stuff, you can't really, if anything we've found out the last couple of years, like you can't tell what a person is by just watching interviews of them or seeing them live. But like, dude, first of all, everything he does is a hit. Mm-hmm. Everything he does is a hit. Like, What We Do in the Shadows is still like one of probably my favorite comedies of all time. Hunt for the Wilder People, amazing. Thor Ragnarok, my favorite MCU film. Jojo Rabbit, I haven't seen, but I've heard is amazing.
And then so many funny things, like he was in Rick and Morty, The Mandalorian.
Yeah, he plays Korg, which is hilarious. He's good. He's a good director. He's funny, but it does say something about a director if you have this many people willing to work with him.
Right. I think that was kind of my end game there. It's
like,
it just seems like must be a cool dude. Must be cool to work with.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to come to any like brash assumptions. I don't know. Maybe beats the shit out of people with like kitchen appliances.
Yeah, that's why I don't say if people are good people anymore. They're just like, because there's so many people who've been bad people.
I think perhaps the best thing to say is that it seems as though Taika Waititi may be easy to work with.
Yes.
As an actor.
Yes.
That's coming from someone who's not an actor.
Right.
Although I will say 3 out of his 6 pictures are him dressed as Hitler, and 2 of the other 3 are him as a droid.
Right. I mean, Jojo Rabbit. And I go with that. Like, I think the things he writes and directs are also like I said, hits. Like, if you want to be in his films because they're going to do well. Like, honestly, I'm looking at his list right now. There isn't a film that I see that people don't not like.
Yeah, and almost everything I saw on there was recognizable in some way or another.
Yeah, I mean, and also, it probably helps that he was, like, tight with the flight of the Conchords people, which are also really funny.
Cool.
Yeah. So, let me see if there's anything else. I wanted to talk about the John Wick series real quick before we go on.
I'm all ears.
So John Wick 4 and 5 are going forward. We've known this for a while, but they are getting rid of the head runner, the person who created the John Wick series. I don't think that bodes well for them, because I think John Wick 1 was such an interesting an interesting take on action films.
Yeah. I agree.
So that's just been like a lot of drama popping up right now. They're not going forward with them, which John Wick 3 was kind of like ridiculous, but I mean I was still here for it. Like there's not a John Wick film that I won't watch out of 1, 2, 3.
They're all cool. They got progressively more over the top.
Yeah, like in New York City, every single person was an assassin, which was like, okay, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, that was... It had some cool ideas. They were just over the top, that's all.
He killed the guy with a book. That was kind of cool.
That was sweet. A giant guy.
Yeah, that was a cool fight scene.
I also really like the part in that movie where he builds his own gun.
Yep.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, so...
There's some cool ideas that they've used a lot, and it's like unique ways of working with what they're doing.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what that says. I know that probably doesn't. For me, when that happens, there's probably like some creative differences or anything. But like whenever you kind of get rid of like the creator of something, it's kind of like either I don't know what that says. So we'll have to see when John Wick 4 comes out. Maybe the creator wanted to keep making it crazier and crazier, and it just didn't fit in the universe. That could definitely be a possibility. Or maybe the production company wanted to make it crazier and crazier, and he didn't want to. So we have to wait for John Wick 4 to see. But that happened. We got the Spiral Saul trailer literally like an hour or two before we went live. I watched it real quick.
I was researching Escape from Tarkov, which just had a patch drop yesterday.
Nice. Spiral Saul. I mean, it looks okay. It looks like a Saul film. It looks like it's a Saw copycat killer, which I think has been done in like Saw 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, that's all they've done since the third one.
But it seems like Chris Rock is playing a police officer, which I mean that's also happens to every Saw. Yeah. But like it seems like this killer is going after like the cops. Like that is who is being killed, which could be a very interesting twist on that.
I think that's a really good idea, considering in Saws like 1 through 12 or whatever,
1 through 500,
all of the twists involved like some way or somehow a cop was
corrupt,
turning or being a bad guy or corrupt or whatever, or tricking someone into doing something or doing some bad shit. So it's like if this dude's coming for cops, well then I'm rooting for Chris Rock. Because he's a cop.
Yeah. Like, I'm rooting for Chris Rock. We'll have to see. But, I mean, I think that could be an interesting twist. We'll see. I don't know. It looked funny. I mean, it looked funny is a weird thing to say about a Saw film. But, like, it's hard. I can't watch Chris Rock in serious films.
Yeah. I'm not rooting for Chris Rock because his character is going to be stellar. I'm rooting for him because he's fucking Chris Rock.
Right. And, I mean, Samuel L. Jackson's in it, too. So it's like
I've seen him die in all kinds of movies.
Yeah.
I don't even want to watch Chris Rock get chopped up.
And they're related.
In the movie?
Yeah, Chris Rock is the son of Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh shit! One of them's a bad guy.
Yeah, and they have to Chris Rock has to go find his father, and then it's revealed to be Samuel L. Jackson. So maybe it's good. I don't know. We'll see.
Stuck in a trap that he knows the way out of, and he tricks him at the last second. Son, I'm sorry, I'm the bad guy. I should have told you we could do this together. Now we're the only 2 cops in the city.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't even know what all this is.
Interesting. Oh, I read recently that someone on the production crew of Mortal Kombat said that they were very close to not being able to like release the movie with an R rating because they pushed the gore to the
NC-17.
Yeah, they were apparently they were like very, very close. They were pushing it real hard. So
makes me a bit more excited.
That's kind of what I said. I know it sounds morbid or whatever, but like we were talking about that when we talked about Mortal Kombat. We were like, well, we hope that they really like ramped it up, and it sounds like they really ramped it up like almost too much.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of sounds like something that is like a press thing, be like, oh, tell people that we had to get it down, but like also, fuck it, it's Mortal Kombat. We've seen the trailer. It looks gory. I'm cool. I mean, that's what a Mortal Kombat film should be.
Yeah.
Just don't give me. I remember talking about it. The only thing I didn't like was it had like that whole like weird like we need to gather the team together to save the Earth. It's like I don't fucking care about that.
Yeah, get to the fighting. Why didn't you just start this movie at the tournament?
Yeah, the movie should just be the tournament. Just cool fight scenes. 2 hours. Boom, I'm in.
That's why I'm here. Enter the Dragon Mortal Kombat style.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So before we talk about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I want to talk about one last thing of news, and it's also going to lead into the movie of next week. Okay. So Scott Pilgrim is coming back to theaters.
Oh,
last year was its 10-year anniversary. I still think it is my favorite. I'm not even going to say I still think it is my favorite comic book movie of all time.
Yeah, I mean, it is great.
And we're going to watch them for next week. It's a movie that we've both seen, but I want to watch it. And it's on Netflix, absolutely. And it's a film that it's for its 10. Well, last year was its 10-year anniversary, but it was COVID. So I'm cool celebrating that movie. I'm cool watching it again, talking about it. Like I said, it's my favorite comic book movie. It's great. All the news of it has made me want to rewatch it.
Cool. I like that we both picked movies that were fun.
Yes.
You know, like considering we went not the 8.5 wasn't fun, but like
it was heavy.
Sun is really sad. The Devil All the Time is really sad.
8.5 was a mind fuck.
Total mind fuck. You know, and then I tried to like
we're watching
it up a little bit with Turbo Kid.
And then Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, we went from like, wow, these movies are really intense and have a lot of things to say. Not that it's saying that Turbo Kid and Scott Pilgrim don't have things to say, but it's you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, at least these ones have like bright colors and
they have bright colors and music
and violence. Woo!
Yeah, and violence, absolutely. So anyway, next week for everyone for the podcast Ruining Movies, we will be watching Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. If you haven't seen it, you're in for a treat. Like I said, my favorite comic book movie. I've saw it four times in theaters when it originally came out.
Dude, I'm really excited because I've only seen this movie one time.
Oh, I've seen it more times than I can count. I mean, first of all, it's directed by Edgar Wright, which is probably one of my favorite directors.
He's amazing. Yeah,
Edgar Wright, again, doesn't miss, I don't think.
I already picked the week after just to keep in line with a theme.
Hell yeah. And yeah, so that's going to be next week.
More Edgar Wright.
I mean, I'll watch Hot Fuzz is my most watched film of all time.
Be my pick.
Dude, I will watch that show. That's like everyone has like kind of like a go-to film to watch just any time, and Hot Fuzz is mine.
It's up there. I can definitely get enjoyment out of that film at any time that I watch it, but we shouldn't talk too much about it because I'm seriously considering that as my pick.
Hell yeah. Okay, so let's talk about. We went from TV, movie. Let's wrap it up with the new television show,
TV and a movie.
TV movie, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I forgot the name of it for a second. It's a really simple name. And let's talk about it. We've had 2 episodes so far. I think what we were talking about has come true with it. We talked about it's going to be better than WandaVision because it's going to be what Marvel does.
Yeah.
It's consistent. I have no problems with it.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking a little bit with Chad about it before, and I guess some people are kind of upset about this new Captain America and stuff because he's like a bad guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And to all that say that, I say... Pfft.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, okay, so there's this weird thing online where people can't separate actor from character. First of all, it's like, guys, they're acting.
It's not about the man in the suit. It's about what the suit represents.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I agree. I do have one critique of the show so far. I think it is fun. I will definitely watch it. Someone kind of said it in my chat saying they don't think Bucky and Falcon play off each other that well. I don't really care for any of the characters. I'm not like boo, I hate them or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm not like attached to anyone. I'm like, yeah, they're all there. Do the new action things.
Right.
I hope with General Zemo. I hope that when he pops up next episode, because I mean his introduction was cool, I will have someone who I feel, because I think he is an actual like villain who you can relate to, seeing that superheroes have fucked up his life.
And a bunch of other people's lives.
Yeah, I think it was funny. I think they put all the funny parts in the trailers though.
Yeah,
like,
no, I feel like I have seen the entire trailer at this point.
Yeah.
In 2 episodes. So that is kind of nice, I think.
Yeah.
Because I guess the rest of this will be unseen footage as far as I'm concerned. Because I literally feel like I've seen the entire trailer at this point.
Yeah, I
do
exactly
agree with your statement. Like the characters aren't really like singing to me, but I think that I hope that they'll build on that a little bit more throughout, because like, that's kind of like there is a disconnect. Like both of these people were blipped out of reality for 5 years, blipped back into reality, and then like had to reassimilate to modern times in a world that wanted nothing to do with either of them. I mean, they saved it, but like they were gonna probably fucking ruin Bucky's life, and then he was lucky enough to get a pardon.
Yeah.
Falcon also was incredibly lucky to get a pardon, considering the amount of damage they had done.
Exactly. Which, yeah.
So, like, the disconnect seems natural, and I'm just saying, like, I hope that they build on that a little bit, because I do agree they don't quite jive so well.
Yeah,
I think they're funny. I think they're plucky.
Yeah,
whatever, but
they have some one-liners that are kind of cheesy. Then it's like,
like I'd like to see. This is what I was saying about WandaVision too. Is like I enjoy that these shows are taking to expanding on characters that I enjoy in other media that didn't really get a lot of love in the movies. So regardless of like how I feel about them right now, I'm just glad that I'm getting to see more of what they're dealing with, I guess, just because they didn't get a ton of love in the movies, or at least not as much as like they would in a show starring 2 of them.
Right, absolutely. I will have to say, so I think the racial aspect that they're playing with, I think, is actually interesting. I did not think Disney would actually do that.
Me neither.
So I'm glad. I don't think that they should avoid those types of things, especially because in the comics they talk about it. I mean, especially when we get Patriot. For those who don't know, Isaiah, I can't remember his last name, the older gentleman we meet in the second episode, he has a fucked up past in the comics because African Americans in the comics were experimented on with this like super serum after Steve Rogers, and it's this whole past about like the government fucking over minorities. It's really fucked up. So they touched on that, and I was like, okay. And then the whole thing with the Falcon after about getting pulled over and just like ID, like things that are like very prominent, like. But I am hesitant. Not that I think they should be covering this. It's good. I'm hesitant because I don't know if Disney's going to cover this well.
Right. Don't fuck this up. You're doing a good thing. Don't fuck this up.
Exactly. Disney, it's good that you're doing this, but like Disney also likes to sanitize these issues where it could just like could be this great like commentary on like how minorities are treated, especially like with the government and stuff, but like they could mess it up.
Oh yeah.
But again, I'm not saying they
episode of WandaVision.
Yeah, exactly.
This could just blow up in their face with something really stupid.
It could. So I'm glad they're covering it. I think they're setting up the Young Avengers because the kid who opened it is Patriot, who is part of the Young Avengers, which is cool. I think that's sweet that they introduced them. I think it's interesting that I think it's very cool that they are introducing these more nuanced characters, more deep characters.
Yeah, and you've got Ms. Marvel on the way. You've got the kid you just mentioned.
Patriot?
Yeah, Patriot. There was America Chavez was teased in, I'm pretty sure, the
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
So
So
that's like the majority of them, I'm pretty sure. And then you have like Vision with that,
yeah,
and
you have Wiccan and
Thor.
Speed.
Oh yeah, Wiccan and Speed were both introduced
You
in
have
that.
Hawkeye.
Yep. And oh yeah, that's a thing too. The new Hawkeye show is supposed to introduce Kate Bishop.
Yeah, we have Ant-Man's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have the Young Avengers, which is a cool route they're going. But
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, honestly. Like based on like just the potential roadmap or like the what's being laid out. And this is what I was saying to Chat before. Like, there's gonna be things about this show that I don't like.
right.
And there's gonna be a lot of things about the show that a lot of people don't like. There's gonna be things about the show that I love. But I'm just trying to remember in the back of my head at all times, like, much like WandaVision, this show is like designed to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
It's supposed to tell the story between the stories.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to keep that in mind. You
Yeah.
know, like, whereas like there might be an anticipated ending, like we might not ever see that until like down the road.
Right.
The big setup. You know, like Marvel set up things for like 10 years down the road with the MCU. So
Absolutely.
you know, prepare for inevitable defeat with your fan theories and stuff if anybody's blowing anything up in their head. Like, I don't want to squelch your dreams, but it might not happen.
Right. And I think, and like we talked about, like, so for those who weren't here when we talked about the WandaVision episode, I was, in the end, pretty disappointed, just because they were doing experimental, exciting things with it, and then in the last episode, it had turned into two witches laser fighting. And we talked about it. I don't think the Falcon and the Winter Soldier can mess that up. Like,
no, but I also don't see that happening, right? Like, they're not going to shoot lasers at each other. Hopefully,
God, if they do, I'm gonna be so mad. Like, right, this does seem like a little bit more like a spy thriller.
Yeah, like I expect there to be bullets and espionage at some point or another, and Bucky will use his arm as a shield.
Yeah,
that's what he does.
Yeah,
but like I definitely don't see it ramping up the way that WandaVision did.
Right, exactly. I think it will be good for it. I don't think this show is going to end up being like the talk for like years, being like, wow, this show was mind-blowing, this was amazing, it's golden era television. But also at the same time, I don't think it's going to go down as a disappointment. I think it's going to shoot straight, hit its target, but sometimes that's all you need.
My official prediction is a wholesome and endearing ending. I have a feeling it's going to be something a little more erring on the side of like that.
Yeah, all right. So I got
there will be action, of course. But like, I'm leaning towards that.
Yeah, they're gonna focus. It is mirroring Winter Soldier right now, which had some really cool fight scenes and do that. Like Winter Soldier is one of the better MCU movies because it had, it wasn't just a rock'em sock'em superhero film. So there was, I guess. There is another complaint I have about this show, but it goes on to the same one where I just don't feel connected to any of the characters. Like, obviously, like the Falcon gave away the shield, and like I guess like we get Bucky saying like if Steve Rogers was like wrong about you, he's wrong about me. I feel like Bucky's being so like hot topic about this all.
A case of the poor knees there, metal arm.
Yeah, like come on, dude, I get it, it sucks, but God, you're kind of so whiny.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I don't disagree, but in the back of my mind, when things like this come up, it's like I feel like I have to say something on the other side of this, and it's like, maybe it's just because Cap's dead now, and he can't like actually ask him if he was wrong.
Yeah, is he dead though?
Oh yeah, he died.
Okay. Okay, I didn't know if that was confirmed.
I'm pretty sure they in the first episode they said something that alluded to him just dying, and I thought that was kind of weird. So maybe they didn't.
Wait, I have to look this up. I can't remember.
That Chris Evans said he wouldn't be in this, and you know, like I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's toast. Either way,
I don't know.
I do agree. Like, buck up, Bucky boy.
Yeah,
Get out
I
there and fucking shoot some stuff.
and I get it. Like, dude, Bucky didn't know him since the 40s.
Yeah, and they're trying to like. I think they're really trying to, dig into some stuff that you wouldn't with these characters, or you wouldn't have been able to before. Like, it's really hard to dig out like the therapy side of a 100-year-old super soldier when he's teamed up with like 14 other superheroes on screen at once.
That is fair. That is absolutely fair.
So now you have the time to like kind of break into his real life a little bit, and he is, a fucked up ex super soldier who dealt with like literal brainwashing.
Well, yeah, literal.
So
yeah, the crazy thing is after this episode, we are halfway through the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Truth.
And they still haven't brought back Sharon Carter, so I feel like there's a lot of characters going on right now, which is it's fine. But
they're
like
we continue to push them too.
Yeah.
And, like, there's gonna be other weird stuff coming, like,
because with the Power Broker, we haven't really we've kind of seen the Power Broker. I feel like he's going to be end up being the bad guy. I mean,
we've already seen Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
It's not to say that the War Machine's gonna come up, but it's just like I have a feeling that's a thing that's gonna be kind of common with a lot of these shows. Like, we already have it confirmed that Mark Ruffalo is gonna be in She-Hulk. We saw Don Cheadle in this. We're probably gonna see someone else at some point. I'm almost certain.
Yeah.
And in Loki, I'm sure they'll do the same thing. In Ms. Marvel, I'm sure Captain Marvel will be in Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna see a lot of like random superheroes popping up everywhere now.
Yeah. So I mean, we still got 3 episodes. I don't hate it. I'll definitely watch it. It's fun. It's exciting.
No, I'm excited about it. Every Friday I've come home and been like, all right, like I'm about to watch the show. Like, it's been pretty good. I agree completely with your statement about the characters, but I'm invested in the show. Like, I'm excited to see where it goes and what it does for the rest of the MCU.
I'm more interested in the villains. Flag Smashers sounds like a relatable group to me. Like I would be a Flag Smasher.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they're super soldiers. Or kind of, anyway.
Well, so the Power Broker is in the comics, which we've been teased twice by the Power Broker, and we've actually heard them say the Power Broker is coming. Is a dude who in the comics literally sells, gives people the serum to become superpowers, but he's also you have to do stuff for him. He's evil.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah,
so,
that's exciting. I'm excited.
That's also an interesting dynamic. Flag Smashers, interesting dynamic. I like that idea that they're playing with, oh shit, the whole world was united. Now everything's back to normal. That fucking sucks. We were all working together and stuff, but now, people have these borders and are fighting for stupid reasons again. That is a cause that I can, understand and get behind. It's just like General Zemo. I could, in Winter Soldier, I got his motives.
Yeah. I will say that's something I can kind of do in this too. I feel like I can see it from all sides.
Yeah, I'll give them that, absolutely.
The Flag Smashers, it's yeah, all right, I can understand why, half of the world's population getting blipped back into existence would kind of suck ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see it from Falcon and Winter Soldier's perspective, where it's I'm all conflicted because I got blipped into reality after 5 years and I entered a war.
And then John Walker, I understand him too. He's just a soldier. He doesn't even seem like he wanted to be this.
I can absolutely see his perspective. He's just this dude that's done really well and tried really hard. He seems like he's put in the work and the time, and he's trying to fill the suit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I can also see Zemo's perspective, like you said. I totally get behind that.
It sucks. Superheroes kind of come in and fuck things up.
Brilliant setup for Civil War.
Yeah, I thought, he was probably one of my favorite villains that MCU's done. All right. Well, is there anything else we want to talk about? Black Widow was pushed back again. Yeah,
100%. I'd like to talk about Turbo Kid.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Zack Snyder this week.
Now?
It is good. I was just gonna say we didn't talk about Zack Snyder this week, which I'm fine about.
That's okay.
I'm okay with that. I'm actually happy. I don't want to talk about him.
I spent a lot of time on him last week. Everybody go watch Justice League.
So that's not something I'm saying. If you have 4 hours to watch, if you have 4 hours to kill in a movie that you've seen before.
I did hear it was really, really good.
I've heard, yeah, I don't know.
I hear a lot of shit all the time. Form your own opinions. Watch the
exactly.
movie.
I don't know. I know what a Zack Snyder film is. I don't think we'll see. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe one of these days where I have 4 hours of open space for some fucking reason, I'll watch it.
If I just wake up at 6 a.m. for no fucking reason.
Yeah, if I just don't do anything for a day and non-productive, I'll watch it. Maybe I'll watch it while I'm working on something. I don't know. But maybe it is good. I don't know. Joss Whedon. I have seen, sorry, oh god, we need to talk about Turtle Kid, but I have seen some like comparisons on YouTube where it's like, this is the Joss Whedon cut, and like, this is the Zack Snyder cut. Yeah, it's like, the Zack Snyder cut definitely does look better, which, okay, it sucks. Joss Whedon, there's been a lot of stuff coming out about him over the last 10 years that he kind of sucks to work with, and also is like abusive, kind of in a Hitchcock way, where like, he just treats actors and actresses, like specifically actresses, like shit, and then like, he also has this weird humor, which sucks. Okay, I'm a big Buffy the Vampire fan, I should say. It's one of my favorite TV shows. But like all these things coming about Joss Whedon, and like,
is he involved in Buffy the Vampire?
Yeah, it's his creation.
Oh.
And then like seeing his humor, it's just like, I don't know if he like ever left that Buffy phase, which Buffy is so like cheesy and in the 90s, like specifically what I'm talking about is like I've seen a cut between the Snyder cut and the Whedon cut where like the Flash falls on Wonder Woman's chest for no reason, and they have that like stupid trope where it's like, oh no, my face is in breasts, and like it's like, why?
Supposed to be a weird encounter. Let's show it on camera.
Yeah, and it's like that. It's just why. And then like the other like Flash is cool. Yeah, like we talk about Zack Snyder a lot. I have no problem with him personally. I think I've heard good things about him too. I just don't really like his films that much.
I got no beef. Just speed it up a little bit.
Just, okay, that is one other thing. I heard like, I don't know if this is true, but I think I heard like 18 to 20% of the movie is in slow-mo.
Dude, I was gonna say, so the original is 2 hours long. The Snyder cut is 4 hours long. It's all slow-mo. Extra hours of slow-mo.
How much of Justice League is
20%? That's fucking insane.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, this has to be like The Onion.
That's gotta be a fucking meme.
10%. 10%. Okay. Which is still
it's still a lot. But like, it's not almost a quarter of the movie.
No, 24 minutes of slow-mo.
Jeez.
That's a quarter, yeah. That's almost half an hour of slow-mo.
Shit.
But again, like, no beef with Zack Snyder. He probably is. Like, he's been through a lot. I respect that. I'm just not a big fan of his movies.
Dude, if he wants to hash this out, like, hit me up. We'll go get a beer, Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
We'll go do that. We can talk as slow as you want over beers at my local pub. And
oh god, now you have me in a rant. People are trying to bring back the Snyderverse, which I said this is a problem with bringing back movies like this, because getting the Snyder cut wasn't enough. Now people are trying to hashtag bring back the Snyderverse.
You're all a bunch of fucking addicts. He gave you a little taste, now you're hooked.
Yeah, and this is something I've been thinking about a lot. Like, I like director's cuts. Like Blade Runner. I think the director's cut of Blade Runner, the fourth one, there's 4 different cuts of Blade Runner. The fourth one that we got in like 2008 is the best version of Blade Runner. But like that's also different than like making the movie 2 hours longer. And doing all that stuff. And I'm sorry, like I saw like 2 days ago they released, you can now watch Justice League in the black and white version. Bruh. It's like, okay, I get it. Just whatever. Let's talk about Turbo Kid. I don't want to talk about
it. Were we gonna do that today?
Yeah, we're gonna do that. It's
7:30.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna talk about. We started late. It's fine. We missed a week. We had a lot of news.
That's true. We do. We've been honestly missing a week of the podcast. It feels like I haven't spoken with you in ages, other than
we played D&D like 2 days ago.
Yeah, but like that's.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Tazal.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, it's been nice catching up, friend.
Absolutely. So let's talk about Turbo Kid, the 2015
epic.
Epic. I'm trying to. Okay, I'm trying to find out the.
$67,000.
Yeah, so it's an indie film. So how would you? Well, I'm looking this up. Describe Turbo Kid in one sentence to the listeners, the viewers.
Turbo Kid is Mad Max on bikes.
Not like cool bikes.
Yeah, no, like bicycles.
Yeah.
Turbo Kid is a post-apocalyptic wasteland starring a kid who's basically Mad Max with a bike.
Yeah, absolutely. That is what Turbo Kid.
It's awesome! Exclamation point.
It is a B horror film. Again, that is not an insult when I call things B horror films.
Ouch.
It is what it is. I'm sorry. Turbo Kid is.
No, I get it. That's like what drew me to it.
It premiered
the first time I watched it
at Sundance at midnight. You know that's where those movies premiere. That's like, and I'm saying I love B horror movies, and I enjoyed this movie. I will have to.
Exposed to like 1960s art house stuff because of like your schooling and your craft.
Yeah.
I got exposed to this because of like some clever Google searches and like Netflix recommended stuff, and I just loved it.
Yeah. So I will have to say I liked it, but I feel like I would have loved it if I did see this in theater. I think this is a room version movie. Again, not saying the movie's bad. I'm just saying there are certain movies like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I don't know what room version means.
The Room Reanimator. It's like an interactive experience. You know?
I see. Like you'd rather be there.
I'd rather be in a theater at midnight. Obviously, it would have to be at midnight. Yeah. Maybe like a beer or two in, and people just yelling at the screen. I feel like that's like that is my ideal viewing of this. But anyway, so 2015 came out. It was made by. So I did some research into this. This is it was directed by 3 people called RKSS. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember what RKSS stands for, but it's pretty much these 3 directors in Canada who make a bunch of films together. It is a film in the post-apocalyptic Midwest. It feels like Midwest. It's an homage.
I think it's Canadian.
Yeah, it's Canadian made. It just feels like the Midwest because everything feels like the Midwest to me.
That's true.
And it's an homage to Mad Max, to 80s dystopian films. It has the gore of trauma films. That's why I compared it to a trauma film earlier. Some of the wackiest gore. It's a crazy synthwave backdrop to it.
That's probably my favorite thing. That's what really. So okay. I said what drew me to the movie, so I found it on Netflix, and I turned it on, and I was like, this seems weird, and then I started it, and the music is what really
the music's pretty good.
The very first time I watched this movie, I mean,
there were some parts
like what kept me in.
Yeah, there were some parts where the synthwave like seemed a little off, but I actually the artist I actually have on some of my playlists. I didn't even realize that until after I googled who they were. They're good at what they do. It's Lay something. I can't remember the last name.
Nice.
But anyway, yeah. So Turbo Kid. To describe what happens, Shane, you take this away. What's the story of Turbo Kid? What happens in it?
Our tale begins with a young lad, our nameless protagonist, the kid. He just begins his journey doing average survival shit, trying to hunt, like trying not to die, riding his bike around, giving us a really appropriate introduction to this hellish landscape, which is like the Canadian/Midwest apocalypse.
It's probably like Ontario.
Yeah, it's just Ontario.
Yeah, it's just Ontario. It's just what Ontario is, I guess.
With some clever film work, I guess. I don't know if you'd call it cinematography, but maybe. And very few words, we learn a lot about what's going on. There are some bad places to go. There are some okay places to go. And this guy's got a house, and he's hungry. So he goes into his house, and he does that. And then, like, he meets a friend who's really funny and wholesome and unexpected. Her name is Apple. And, she just befriends the young man, and they, like, go and do happy, fun stuff together until... she gets kidnapped, right? Yeah, she gets kidnapped.
Yeah, by Zeus.
Well, it was the guy with the
right.
straw hat.
Yeah.
And the kid goes on a hero's journey and gets the equipment of presumably like a fallen spaceman
Turbo
from
Man.
Turbo Man from the Before Four Times, and puts on his gear and fucking just starts exploding people left and right. And that's when the movie really starts to ramp up. It gets super gory and
It's insanely gory.
yeah, then he meets protagonist number 2, who's the arm wrestling champion of the Wasteland. I can't remember his name.
Frederick?
He's pretty badass. Yeah, Frederick. Yeah, he goes and does a lot of arm wrestling and pisses off Zeus, and then Zeus kills his brother, so he's all mad and he's gonna come get him. And then Zeus puts him in a tub and tells him that all the water in all the lands is made out of people because people are like 70% water, so we just grind them up.
I did like that twist.
As water. Yeah, that was pretty clever, and also really adds to like the gratuitous violence of this movie. Like,
yeah,
this guy, like, you think it's just like kids on bikes. It's not that bad. This robot chick is kind of funny. It's lighthearted. And then, the guy gets his hand cut off with a blender, and, you find out that we're turning people into water. So it gets pretty brutal pretty quick. And an amazing fight scene breaks out. The girl is saved. Drama ensues. He has to save her life because she's injured. And then he saves her life. Final boss battle. Epic fight.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. I mean, I don't want to get too in depth with it.
It's a pretty simple film.
Like, overall, yeah, it is very simple. What draws me to it are like the little nuances.
Yeah.
The fact that it has that like comedically placed gore that like the first time I watched the movie felt so random and out of place, but it wasn't. It's post-apocalyptic world. They had just been showing me this film in a way that made things like that seem crazy, but it wasn't. It's just part of life. And like, more importantly, like, just the music, like I said, drew me in.
Yeah, the music is great.
The comedy value of like what it is. It's like Mad Max on bicycles. So
yeah,
it's just kind of innately funny, but it's also really endearing. There's some like wholesome aspects to it between this man and his robot friend, and there's some camaraderie formed.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of a touching tale by the time it's over, if you can look past like the goofiness of it.
Yeah. And like I said, definitely recommend watching it with people. Usually that's not something I recommend. I'm like, usually just watch it however. But this is a film where you want to be with some buddies. Yeah, cheer
for the
laugh.
Good guys in this.
Yeah, it's simple, which is not always bad. I got a couple complaints about it. Again, I always have to complain about everything. Not really complaints, again. First of all, Zeus has one eye. Call him Odin. Second,
nitpicky, but funny.
Yeah, I mean, these are more funny comedic. The third one is not as comedic. The second complaint I have, you have Turbo Man in your fucking film and you don't reference Jingle All the Way? What the fuck are you doing?
I actually said to my dad before I went and watched that movie, I like looked up at him and I was like, it's Turbo time. And he was
right?
like,
I was so ready for it. It's Turbo time or something from I love Jingle All the Way.
Classic.
And then the third is I like this movie a lot. I really enjoyed watching it. It was a lot of fun. But I have seen better lighting from student films. Like,
yeah.
Like they absolutely spent all their money on the gore.
100%.
And like, it is kind of endearing that it does feel very like amateurish, but like at some points, like there was some shots where it's like you could have maybe tried a little bit more. But other than that, like again, it's a B horror. It's a B movie. It's not meant to be cinematically amazing, eye-popping. It's just like, it seemed like they could have done a little bit more on that. It kind of took me out some places, but other than that, this movie was an absolute blast to watch.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear you say that, because I've pushed this movie a bunch, and that's kind of the point of it. Like, it's not that it is a cinematic masterpiece, but it is super fun, and it has some like heart to it a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. It has. It definitely has heart. S
I will
twists
say,
and all that stuff. Yeah.
I actually have a complaint about this, and maybe
Yeah.
it's more of a suggestion. Maybe it's a glitch with Amazon Prime. Maybe it has something to do with filmmaking, or maybe my headphones are just fucked up. If you're like me and you don't have any friends that want to sit around and watch this movie and cheer for the good guy with you, and you find yourself sitting alone in front of your computer with your headphones on about to watch Turbo Kid,
Yeah.
don't. Because for some reason my audio was like all kinds of fucked up. It
Mine
sounded
was
like they
too.
were recording on an empty sound studio.
So I think that I think that is again I think I get the whole amateur indie film idea and doing it. I filmed films like this, but I feel like I think the audio like kind of like when I said like the synthwave was a little bit out of place sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem like they could have maybe spent a little bit more money, take away some of the gory shots and put it in more of the technical stuff. Because when I watched it on the TV, I had to like turn it up a couple times, turn it down at other times, throw subtitles on.
Well, I watch subtitles and everything, but I get what you're saying, because I feel like it would have been a little bit better had I watched it on my TV.
Yeah.
But only because I wouldn't have been hearing it closer to my fucking ears.
Right.
My headphones are right here, so I could just tell that there was something a little off. And now that you're saying that you were experiencing it too, I guess it's possible that my headphones aren't fucked up, so that's cool.
Yeah.
It's probably filmmaking or Prime.
It does seem like filmmaking. It all seemed like filmmaking, like the lighting and that. Which again, I get it. You're going for an amateurish type style. And
I think that's why I looked past it.
Right.
Like, most of the time, this was the first time I've ever watched this movie critically.
Yeah.
And I agree completely with all your statements. This is like every time I've seen this movie, it's been, well, not every time, because I just tried to watch it critically. So just know, when I do my critical film watching, I take it fucking seriously.
Hell yeah. Every
other time before this that I've ever watched this movie, it's been with a beer in my hand.
Absolutely.
So it's been like a very different type of experience. Very
Absolutely.
much like laughy, giddy, haha, cheer for the good guys, like we said. So I can see now through some of those cracks a little bit, but I still, like I said, I think I still stand by what I said. It's got that heart, and it's got that fun, and that's
it's still fun.
Most of why I picked it, aside from the fact that you the previous week you had picked 8.5, so it was kind of off the beaten path.
Yeah.
So I wanted to pick something that I enjoyed that was kind of off the beaten path.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's why I picked that.
Yeah. They just announced Turbo Man 2. Turbo Kid. God, I want to keep it called
Turbo Kid 2? Really?
Yeah. Turbo Kid 2 along with a game.
What?
Yeah, it's in Turbo Kid 2 is in pre-production. So I hope that they actually have a budget this time to actually shoot it well. Because Summer of '84 they made After, which was shot pretty well. It wasn't amazing, but it was shot pretty well. So hopefully they've learned from their woes.
What the hell is T is for Turbo, bro?
That was their short. So a lot of films, especially in the indie circuit, will be shorts first, and a lot of people will pick up on the shorts, or they'll be in a lot of film festivals and people will like the short films and they'll be like, oh shit, this is a cool idea, and then they'll pay the directors to make a full length. Another example of this is What We Do in the Shadows. Was originally in the 2000s was a short made by Flight of the Conchords and Taika.
Right.
And then someone was like, wow, this is actually funny, make a full length. A lot of indie films do that, and it's cool because it gives people who aren't big a chance to make something.
That is so cool. You warm my heart when you tell me these things about Turbo Kid 2 and stuff.
Yeah.
That's really nice. This is, again, it's been a movie I've been pushing for years, so I'm so happy that I could finally con one of my friends into watching it, even if it was for a weekly episodic podcast. Totally worth it.
Shit, okay, so this is even a more of a fun fact about this. I guess they entered T is for Turbo into the ABCs of Death contest. I don't know if it got in though. I don't remember seeing. What is the T for ABCs? For those who don't know what the ABCs of Death is, it is an anthology where they got a bunch of directors from all around the world to create short films. with different ways to die. They're all horror films, A through T. Oh, T is for toilet. I actually didn't like that one too much. I probably would have liked T is for turbo better. But that's cool. It was created for the ABCs to death.
Yeah, so that is why they made their original.
Well, it seems like T is for Turbo was made in 2011. They entered in 2012 contest. It could be.
Cool. That was like a jumping off point for the film.
Yeah, it seems like it.
That's kind of neat. I think I might watch that later.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I don't know how.
Dude, it's so nice to like do this and have this podcast because for so long it's like, oh, I watched this movie. It was really nice. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And
Let's
like
go talk it out.
I would take the time to like learn about it.
Yeah.
But it's nice to like have a reason to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
To like dive into it like this. It's been fun, and to get to discuss it has been a lot of fun. And
oh, absolutely. I mean, this has been always so good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is there anything else we want to say about Turbo Kid?
I don't have anything about Turbo Kid, but I have a question because I already forgot the answer to it.
Okay.
What's the movie for next week? Oh, Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh, excuse me.
All right. So, for those who are new here, this last part of the podcast, we have some polls in our Discord. If you're not in our Discord, go check it out. It's called The Realm of Friendship. It's me, Shane, and a couple of other friends who stream. But you can go there. It's great. It's fantastic. We have a Minecraft server that no one's really playing right now. We're waiting for 1.17. But we have a bunch of cool people on it. If you're looking to play games and stuff, people are there. Talk to them. They're great people. The best people. But anyway, we have polls there. The whole point of ruining movies is we talk about a movie of the week after we talk about the news, and then through these polls we have to reimagine the movie, rewrite the movie in a way. So this week, Turbo Man, we have to write a prequel. Turbo Kid. Why? Right. God damn it! Jingle All the Way has got Turbo Man stuck in my head.
I am Turbo Man.
I am Turbo Man. Go watch Jingle All the Way, everyone. It's a Christmas movie, but oh my god, Sinbad and Arnold in it are so fucking funny.
Oh, it's classic.
Go check out my YouTube channel, Farm Goat Says, and watch my Jingle All the Way episode. A Jingle All the Way episode, and I talk all about it, and how good it is. So this week, round of applause. We're talking. We are making a prequel to Turbo Kid that is a drama.
Oh. I'm in.
Ooh, hit me with it. Go for it. Start us off.
If I was gonna make a prequel to Turbo Man, I would want to know more.
Turbo Kid. You said Turbo Man.
You're Turbo Man. I said Turbo Kid.
You said Turbo Man.
If I was gonna make a prequel to Turbo Kid, I'd call it Turbo Man. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, that you could go with that. That would actually work.
It's actually a really good idea, except my idea was different. I love Apple. She's like such an interesting character.
Yeah.
She's so funny and quirky and weird. I want like the prequel that is like the Wayland Enterprises equivalent to these robots that are being produced.
Oh, yeah.
Where they come from, how they gain this sentience, were they always sentient? That all sounds very dramatic to me.
I think
like, do they just walk off of fucking assembly lines into the apocalypse where they go and make best friends?
Yeah.
Or
absolutely.
Have they always been around?
So, super spoilers. Obviously, again, if you're listening to this podcast,
it's in the title.
You're gonna be spoiled. I think if we're going that route, I like that route too, because the robots did interest me. I'm kind of sad that we didn't learn more about them. But I mean, like, where the hell would you have put more information in? Like, it wasn't about the robots. It was about the it was about the kid. Yeah. Protagonist. Tenet's protagonist.
That's literally him. He's just the kid in the credits. But yeah,
protagonist. Because Zeus in the last chapter, last battle is revealed to be a robot. What? And it is revealed that, I mean, typical robot stuff, nothing new here. Humans are awful. We need to destroy them all. Beep boop bop boop beep boop.
I am Bender.
Every time there's a bad robot, that's like they're like, even Ultron was like, the protect humans, we must kill them all. So it's like, okay, like it's something we've all seen 100 times. I would love to see how Zeus got there. Yeah. Especially, it could be like an Apple Zeus type deal, the prequel. What would we call it? It wouldn't be Turbo Kid. It would be Turbobots now. The Apple of Eden. Like, it should be black and white.
It'd be kind of weird if you called it the Apple of Eden and then your main character's name was Apple.
Yeah, that would be kind of weird. I kind of like it, though.
Although she could come from a factory called Eden.
Eden. Ooh, I like that.
That's neat. And I also like the idea of, instead of Turbo Kid, you still do what we had mentioned earlier and incorporate Turbo Man into this somehow, because it's pretty clear that he retired.
He was like a legit dude.
In a pretty bad way.
He was like a legit dude.
Badass. Yeah, he was a person. They made comics about him and action figures, and he literally had the power to blow people up in his hand.
That is one thing. I hope in Turbo Kid too. Like, the world building in Turbo Kid is actually pretty fun. It's pretty good. It's exciting. I want to know more about the robots. I want to know more about Turbo Man and how they have spaceships and gauntlets that shoot lasers, but how they never progressed past the 80s in technology.
How can you blow someone up from 100 yards away to entirety, but like you can't figure out how to deal with like noxious cancer-causing gas?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like the government would have had that shit on lock.
Right, exactly. Maybe even I would like to know what, like, it's kind of like the Fallout. Oh, I guess Fallout, you kind of learn why there was the nuclear wasteland. But like, they don't really brush it up, which I think is fine. In Mad Max, do they ever talk about what happened? I think they talk about like explosions and the sky going red and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty vague.
Which I'm cool with.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
That way. The most exposition I ever got on like the world building behind Mad Max was actually from the Mad Max game. And before we get into contractual issues with George Miller and WB, like all that shit, like we might as well just not even count that, because
it's like the Friday the 13th game.
Yeah, there was all kinds of fucking issues. So it's like, that exposition came with a lot about like oil shortages and explosions and nuclear war and all this shit, but it's like,
oh damn,
none of that was like official, I don't think.
Okay, interesting. All right, yeah. So I think it would be cool to explore that world. I mean, I don't think you need to talk about why there was. It's set in the 80s. It's an homage to the 80s. The Soviets nuked us.
Sure. Yeah,
that's probably the reason.
Why
it's the Cold War.
I'm more interested in the characters.
Yeah, and the robots and Turbo Man himself.
Yeah,
But I think the robots would be cool. I think it would be cool to maybe you could do the thing where you jump, like kind of like how Turbo Kid did, where you didn't stay on the kid the entire time. You jumped between Zeus and the skeleton masked man, which I kind of want to learn about. That saw blade fucking arm thing was kind of nuts.
Cool. But yeah, the physics of that thing made no fucking sense. But
no, and I never. It reminded me of like GoldenEye and Oddjob's hat.
Yeah, I imagine the testing phases for that weapon were really fucking like
gnarly,
embarrassing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think
I even think going back a little bit on Frederick would be kind of neat. Learning how he became badass. Like, you know how in was it the third Indiana Jones, it starts out with the scene of like really, really young Indiana Jones like encountering some fucking grave robbers or something?
I think so, yeah. I think that was the third one.
It'd be fun to see Frederick like bar fighting when he's like 16 or something.
Right, because he was kind of a one-dimensional character.
Yeah, incredible. I am violent, that is what I do.
Most characters in this were one-dimensional.
I'd say the only one that wasn't was the kid.
That was the kid, yeah.
That's kind of like the point, I guess. Like Turbo Kid.
Yeah. But yeah, I think in drama, I mean, I think this world is pretty dramatic, pretty awful. I think you keep the gore, but you remove the like. I don't want to call it stupid, but like the crazy gore, like the trauma-esque gore, like when like those people kept getting cut in half and they like started like stacking on top of each other. Like that part is fucking hilarious, but like it also was like, what the fuck am I watching?
Not very dramatic. I think you make it really gritty.
Yeah.
Maybe,
get a better cinematographer.
Maybe Turbo Man and Frederick are like the only humans.
Ooh, yeah.
That you encounter, and maybe it's just a story about them.
That would be kind of sweet.
Turbo Man crashes at the end of his story. We already know.
Yeah.
This. But maybe he doesn't start in a ship. Maybe he starts on the ground and he's like dealing with the fucking apocalypse, and he's got to repair his ship, so he's got to do all this stuff. He goes and gets some robot parts from a nearby factory that's shut down, and the last robot that it spits out is Zeus, who fucking malfunctions his ship and makes him die.
That would be sweet. Yeah, I think we got something there. We
Tracks they just took off there.
Yeah.
But
Turbo Kid creators, if you want it, hit us up.
Yeah, email.
I've worked on some indie films. Hook us up.
Know him.
Yeah, exactly. We know what we're talking about. Let us join you. You guys already are threesome directors. I don't know if they want to be called threesome directors.
Stand in my chat.
Three-headed directors. Just add 2 more heads.
It'll be a 5-headed dragon. It'll be great.
Yeah, we'll be the director Matt. All right. Is there anything else you want to add to that? I think that's a pretty solid. Actually, I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, I think we nailed it. I like the.
As always.
Yeah, of course. I mean, buy our idea. Email me.
Yeah, find us.
Sorry, me.
Turbo Kid 1.5.
Yeah, no, I like the drama. I think that's an interesting way to do it because they really took the whole point of Turbo Kid, right, is take something terrible and depressing and lighten it up a little bit. Let's put them on bicycles and stack bodies on bodies.
Yeah.
You remove all that shit. Remove the bicycles. Remove the body stacking. Keep it gritty. It's already dramatic. This world is bleak. Like,
yeah.
The lightest thing about a drama would be like Apple. And
right.
If it was like her origins, she would probably just be really fucking confused.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, it could even be like the origins be like we first meet Apple on a playground with a dead body. Right. Awesome. All right. Well, that's going to be the end of this podcast, everyone. Thank you guys for watching, listening, psychically transmitting it to your brain. Let's do some plugs, get out of here, and then play some Portal.
I'm in.
So hit us up, Shane. What do you got going on?
You can catch me live more often now that I just came back from my sabbatical.
Hell yeah.
Twitch.tv/BringTheShane. We're going to be doing all kinds of fun stuff. If you're interested, come along and play. I am taking all ideas. If you have ideas, drop them in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, click the link. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Come on.
What are you doing?
Get in here. Awesome. All right. So you can find me at twitch.tv/farmgoat if you're watching this live. You're here already. Welcome in. Greetings.
Lucky you.
Well, lucky you. I've been doing a lot of RP lately. I just recently joined the No Pixel server. Not been able to get in except for a couple hours. So hopefully more of those streams later. I have a character called Bill Bunderson, which is really funny. I also just applied for a couple Red Dead Online RP servers. So if I get into those seem a little bit easier to get past the queue. So expect a lot of Red Dead Online RP. I'm really into RP lately. So come check that out. I also play Pogo Stuck on Thursdays, which is infuriating, but I love that game. And also go check out my YouTube, which you can also see this podcast at FarmGoat Plays, which is also kind of popping off right now. So go check that out. And then Shane and I also have another podcast with a couple of our friends called Survival Check. If you like D&D and want to learn more about the monsters of the 5th edition Monster Manual, go check that out. It's actually pretty funny. It's half serious, half funny, but it's always a good time. And yeah, that's it. We will catch you guys all next week as we talk about Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys all for watching and listening. And we'll be back next week with movie news, movie of the week, and then we'll ruin Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah, we will.
Hell yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Insert jingle now. Boop, 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 boop. Bye.